Appropriate Dress for Teachers, a guide for teacher candidates at Georgia Southern University. Your practicum experience is a chance for you to refine your teaching skills, but it's also the opportunity for you to refine your skills in professional behavior and appearance. Remember that one of the standards on the Intern Keys rubric is Standard 9, Professionalism, which has to do with various professional decisions that influence your work as a teacher. One of those decisions is how you dress and groom yourself. So in this video, we'll talk about your choices with respect to attire and grooming so that you can do the best job you can as a teacher. Keep in mind that dress codes are more than just a matter of personal taste, and sometimes they're up for interpretation because teachers' jobs are so varied. But adhering to a standard of appearance will not only help you be a better teacher, but it will also ensure respect in your classroom. It will help you establish your leadership in the classroom. It will also affect your safety. For instance, your choice of dress will prevent others from grabbing you or from any article of your hair or clothing getting caught. You've chosen to work with adolescent learners, and while they might not mean any harm, they are awkward and they can make immature decisions and sometimes are clumsy. And so some of their playful or physical behaviors might impose a bit of a safety risk for you. So choosing what you wear and choosing how to groom yourself can help you stay safe and secure in a learning environment. Your work also puts you in very close proximity to ink, markers, glue, and other learning materials that can be dark and smeary and messy. And so how you dress in the classroom can keep you from ruining some very nice clothes. Dressing appropriately and professionally helps to prevent distractions in what's the most important activity in your classroom, the learning activity. It also shows your respect for your students and school leaders, and it communicates your expectation of respect from your students. And so in that way, your choice of apparel establishes your leadership in the classroom. Finally, keep in mind that what you choose to wear enables you to maintain your stamina in what can often be a very long and busy teaching day. As you're a teacher, you will be on your feet most of the day and you'll be moving around. So your choice of shoes should be a pair that keeps your feet safe and offer good support. Again, you're also going to be working with markers and ink, chalk, and other materials that could damage your clothing or at least stain them. So wear clothes that you don't mind getting dirty. Teachers are often moving around the classroom and moving around the school much of the day, so they should wear clothes that allow them to do that. And finally, most of you are only a few years older than the students that you'll be working with. Even when you enter the profession, you'll be only a few years older than the adolescent learners in your classroom. And so your choice of apparel and your choice of grooming will enable you to establish a respectful but authoritative distance. The state of Georgia has its own guidelines for faculty and staff dress. It's a pretty broad policy, and you can find it online. It's SS 3004. It begins by outlining what choices of apparel are generally unacceptable. For instance, athletic wear in general is unacceptable except when activities require such apparel. So sweatsuits, windsuits, warm-up suits, and other athletic attire, including compression pants, spandex, leotards, and leggings, are generally unacceptable. Even when one is a coach of a team, one is expected to wear appropriate attire. At athletic events, coaches are generally on the sidelines, not participating in the athletic event. And so even when guiding the students through an athletic competition, the coach is expected to wear appropriate clothing. Also generally unacceptable are at-home kinds of clothing, such as lounge pants, pajamas, and bedroom slippers. Athletic shoes are also generally unacceptable. Those would include running shoes, walking shoes, cross trainers. Unless the faculty or staff member is participating in an event where such shoes are required, then they are generally unacceptable, as are shoes that one would typically wear to the beach or to the pool. So flip-flops, shower shoes, plastic sandals, deck shoes, things like that should be left at home. Blue jeans are generally unacceptable for faculty and staff, as are t-shirts and sweatshirts other than school spirit wear. There are times when the school promotes school spirit and wearing the school logo on a t-shirt or a sweatshirt would be acceptable. The Savannah-Chatham County Public Schools also has a dress code for its faculty and staff. It begins with an outline of clothing that faculty and staff may wear. For instance, the men may wear ties, slacks, short or long sleeve collared shirts, turtleneck shirts, sports jackets or suits, and sweaters. While ties are permitted, they are not required unless a man is a principal or an assistant principal, and then he must wear a shirt and tie. For women, appropriate attire would be shirts or dresses no more than 2 inches above the knee, slacks, suits, blouses, shirts, and sweaters. Employees, whether they be faculty or staff, can wear casual wear on spirit days. So on those days could wear casual slacks, but not shorts, denim garments, again, not shorts, school spirit shirts, and athletic shoes. Those Chatham County guidelines are similar to the state of Georgia, right? So which dress code should you follow? Well, all Georgia public schools must abide by the state dress code. So individual systems can make their policies more specific if they'd like, but they do have to comply with what the state has already outlined. So when you are assigned to your school, you should make your clothing choices so that they comply not only with your individual school, but also with the state. But on top of that, you should also make decisions that are in compliance with Georgia Southern's College of Education. We have our own dress code for teacher candidates. Georgia Southern wants to make sure that its teacher candidates reflect the best preparation for teaching in local schools. Clothing choices and grooming choices are indicative of that preparation. So for men, acceptable clothes would include slacks, short or long sleeve collared shirts, sports jackets, shirts such as turtlenecks, round neck shirts, and button-up shirts, and dress shoes or loafers with socks. Women, on the other hand, can wear skirts or dresses at an appropriate length, which is no more than 2 inches above the knee, gauchos, slacks, blouses or sweaters with modest necklines, and closed-toed shoes with backs. Generally inappropriate are the following. Any shoe that resembles a flip-flop would be unacceptable. My husband refers to those shoes as go-forwards because when you wear a shoe that resembles a flip-flop, you can't go backwards. That would be a backless shoe. So just use that as a guideline. Go forwards are probably inappropriate for the classroom. Skirts and dresses that are more than 2 inches above the knee are generally unacceptable. And for all teacher candidates, shoulders and upper arms should be covered. So if you're wearing a sleeveless top or a sleeveless dress, wear a jacket or sweater over it at all times to cover the shoulders. And for women, cleavage should also be covered. For all teacher candidates, pay careful attention to body art. It can't be distracting and it needs to be safe. So if you'd like to cover all of your body art or remove it if possible, then that's fine. But if it's impossible to remove it, then cover it if it's distracting, and if it portrays illegal substances, alcohol, or other subject matter not suited for minors, then certainly cover it. If you can remove piercings from the face or other very noticeable parts of the body, that might be a good idea too. Grooming decisions are also important. Teacher candidates should keep their hair out of their eyes and face, not only to avoid distracting students, but also to avoid distracting themselves. Long hair is permitted, but it should be pulled away from the face, again to avoid distractions. Many people have long hair that extends below the shoulders. Certainly keep that pulled back and fastened so that it won't fall forward and present any safety risks or distractions to the learning process. Nails should be clean and trimmed. Any teacher candidates who are accustomed to wearing artificial acrylic nails with embellishments should reconsider wearing them into the classroom. Men should keep their facial hair trimmed and clean, and women should keep their makeup modest to avoid distractions. Jewelry should also be modest and worn close to the body to avoid getting grabbed or caught. If you're in the habit of wearing a lengthy necklace that will dangle when you bend over, give that a second thought before you wear it to school. And make sure that all of your jewelry is understated to avoid distractions. Men should avoid wearing hats indoors. Remember that all Georgia Southern teacher candidates are expected to be appropriately and professionally dressed when participating in a practicum experience. During the 2021 academic year, many practicum experiences are conducted online, but there will be regular meetings conducted via web conferencing, either via Google Meet or Zoom. Keep in mind that during our real-time Zoom meetings, you should dress and groom yourself appropriately. That's the way your university supervisor will be able to gauge your ability to meet Standard 9 on the Intern Keys rubric. But also keep in mind that appropriate attire and appropriate grooming is affordable. No one expects you to go shopping for the sake of conducting your practicum, and nobody expects you to wear anything fancy in order to get your practicum done. In fact, replicating or modifying the student school uniform is acceptable. In many school systems, including the Savannah-Chatham County Public Schools, students are required to wear a uniform that consists of a collared shirt with short sleeves and casual slacks, such as khakis. A teacher who decides to dress in the same way implicitly shows a common bond with the students and shows respect for the school and the classroom, while also dressing in a way that would allow for mobility, stamina, safety, and professionalism. Of course, you have many choices available to you for looking professional in the classroom and during an online practicum experience. In our Folio e-classroom, we have a gallery of teacher attire and an activity that goes along with it. So once you finish this video, please return to Folio, access that gallery, and continue our activities.